So, are you feeling a little lost in your postgraduate studies? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dive into The Postgraduate Survival Guide, a book that totally reframes this whole academic marathon. It sees it for what it really is, a deeply human experience. All right, let's get into it. Right off the bat, the book hits you with this incredible metaphor. Postgraduate study is an intellectual wilderness. Does that sound familiar? I bet it does. You know that feeling of being totally lost in a jungle of jargon and theories and just conflicting feedback? Well, this is why. And here's the key thing. It's not you. It's not a personal failing. It's just the nature of the terrain you're in. But, this wilderness, it has some real dangers. This journey is just incredibly tough. And the hard truth, a lot of people who start out with all the ambition in the world, well, they don't actually make it to the destination. It's a true test of endurance, way beyond just being smart. And that feeling of difficulty? It's not just in your head. It is backed by some pretty stark numbers. Just look at this. In the US, only around 56% of doctoral students finish within 10 years. 10! In Australia, it drops to under 50% in 8 years, and in South Africa, it's less than 30% in 5. Now listen, these numbers aren't meant to freak you out, not at all. They're here to show you just how crucial it is to have the right tools and support. So, with the stakes this high and the paths so unclear, it all boils down to one massive question, right? How do you find your way? How do you not just survive this whole thing, but actually come out the other side thriving? Well, the book's answer is built around this really powerful framework. It calls them the 4 pillars of support. Think of these as the absolute foundations for your entire journey. So let's break them down. Seriously, you should think of these pillars as your survival kit. They're your compass, your companions, your supply line. They're all interconnected, giving you direction and that crucial bit of encouragement when you need it most. Because here's the thing, you can't do this alone. Success in this wilderness is absolutely not a solo mission. Okay, so pillar number 1. This is the engine of the whole operation. And it's you, the student. You're the one bringing the momentum, the direction, the sheer grit. The entire journey really does start and end with your own resilience and your ability to lead yourself when things get tough. Pillar number 2, the supervisor. This is your intellectual guide, your mentor. And a really great supervisor, they do so much more than just check your grammar, right? They're there to build your confidence, to validate your thinking, and to help you find your own scholarly voice. All right, pillar 3, the institution, the university itself. And it's not just a place where you work, it's a whole ecosystem. The policies, the culture, the resources, all of it can either be a huge tailwind pushing you forward or a major headwind holding you back. And that brings us to the 4th and final pillar, which the book calls the invisible pillar. And this is your peer support. This is that informal but oh so vital network. Your peers give you something that no one else can, that emotional solidarity, that camaraderie, and that crucial reminder that no, you are not the only one going through this. Okay, so we have the 4 pillars. But what makes this guide so different from all the other how-to academic books out there? Well, it's a completely different kind of guide. And understanding its philosophy is really the key here. Let's look at a quick comparison. Typical guides, they focus on the technical stuff, right? Methodologies, citations, deadlines, chapter outlines, the what. This survival guide, though, it focuses on the human realities. It's about the how. How do you deal with that quiet doubt that creeps in? The overwhelming fatigue? The perfectionism that just freezes you? That's what this book is all about. And this quote from the book just says it all, doesn't it? This is not an instruction manual. It is a mirror, a map, and a hand extended in your direction. It's not here to tell you what to do. It's here to help you see yourself, find your bearings, and feel supported. So how does it do that? Well, it empowers you in 3 really specific ways. First, it names the unspoken. It gives a voice to all that guilt and fear, so you realize it's a normal part of the process. Second, it offers perspective. It reminds you that progress is messy, and that feeling of difficulty, that's actually the feeling of real thinking happening. And third, it provides tools, not just for time management, but for managing your energy, your self-doubt, and your confidence. And all of this leads to the book's final and maybe most important message. It's about the destination. And spoiler alert, the destination is not just finishing your dissertation. It's a journey of becoming something more. And this quote, this is such a game changer. The goal is to finish, not to be the best. In a world that is constantly screaming at you to be the best, to be perfect, this book just gently says, hey, just finish. It's about letting go of that pressure to write the most revolutionary thesis ever written and just getting it done. Because the real goal here, the real achievement, is getting through this whole thing with your dignity, your sanity, and your sense of self intact. It's about making it to the end of the journey without losing who you are along the way. Who you become in this process is every bit as important as the piece of paper you produce at the end. And really, this book is for everyone who's part of this world. It's for the student who's wrestling with imposter syndrome, which is probably most of us. It's for the supervisor who's trying to be a better mentor. It's for the part-time student writing at midnight, for the first-gen scholar carving a brand new path. It's for anyone who chose this life of knowledge as a journey, not just a performance. So I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Thinking about your own journey right now, today, which of your 4 pillars needs a little more support? Is it you, your supervisor, the institution, or your peers? Just take a second to think about it. Because surviving this wilderness, well, it's all about knowing where you need to build up your strength.